What up, Jopins? Episode 186. Usually I'm doing a guest. Everyone was super busy this week, but guess what? Brendan was off on a Wednesday.
Nice to have a day off, man. Every now and again, Jovins, I get a day off because I have to work on Saturdays a lot of the times, which does suck. But then it gives me a day off during the week.
Yeah, random. But fucking poker did not go our way. Brendan, in fact, was the first one out this week.
Yeah, I was the first one out. I think it was the addition of having Sono there.
Blake fucked you over?
And then, because I'm not used to his betting behaviors, and then I don't know what he's got on. He did a good job. He got me out.
He beat you on a good hand right off the bat, I think. It was like the second or third hand, right?
Yeah. Hey, Tommy didn't do very well either. He was saying it was like it wasn't our night. We didn't have the cards.
Dude, the cards were going Schmitty's way at first, guys. I was winning some good big hands. I had some really good cards. And then, made a couple mistakes a couple times. Probably one of the biggest mistakes you could ever make. I was a dummy.
When did you get out? You made it past me.
I think I was like fifth.
Damn.
We went all the way to where, we did have people buy in. But it was the last call. Usually people buy in way before.
Yeah, everybody stayed in the game a lot longer. It was way more competitive than the last time. I think the boys are catching on.
I think 100%. And I just think that something was in those cards that night because there were some good hands. But what did I have? I had a straight flush.
Oh my God, Jovins. Yeah. He folded and he didn't even know that he had a winning hand because the last card to come up, it was a low card. It was a 2, but it was a 2 of spades. My boy here has a spade, ace high. He would have won with the flush over the other person.
And Garrett had a king. So the chances of, we had the same thing, but I just had an ace. I was dumb. Learn from me, Jobins. Sometimes it's real. You gotta take a breath. Don't get too excited and in the emotions of what's going on the table. And just take a second to look at your cards and look at the table. Because I did it a couple times that night where I made some fucking mistakes.
You gotta know when to fold them, and I also was victim to that, and I lost. I went out quick, guys. First one out.
I was up and I was talking shit. I was in some people's heads. It was fun. It was a good night poker. Was that?
That was Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was Super Bowl. So that's right. It was just such a busy, crazy weekend. I barbecued for everybody.
Oh my God, man. That chicken was actually really, really tasty on the Traeger.
I couldn't tell you how happy I felt right there, bro. It was so nice when we were standing in Sean's warehouse with everybody and everyone was just eating at grabbing it. When Tim comes over and says it's really good, Sean didn't have, I think he had one bite later on that night, but he's real strict. But when Tim and everyone says it's real good, it just hits the soul. And let me tell you, I love Traeger grills, bro. I would love to have one. It'd be incredible. The one that Sean has is like $4,000. Mm-hmm. So that's a one-day goal. But it's kind of like cooking for dummies when you use a Traeger grill. It just makes it so simple for you.
It's cost efficient too if you really think about it, bro, because you don't have to keep paying for propane. Right. You do have to pay for the wood pellets, but I bet those wood pellets are a lot cheaper than getting refills on propane.
And I'll always love a Weber grill. You can't ever replace a Weber grill in my life. But yeah, the Traeger grills were pretty sick. You're able to load up so much. That's the one thing that I do love about it. I'd have to have a massive Weber grill, and even then, you can only do so much. When you got layers, you can just pile that shit on.
Oh man,
it's a good time.
That was some really good chicken. Jokins, I was just happy to be a part of it. I was just happy to send out the plates to the table. And then just be able to witness the cooking. Dude, you did a great job.
I appreciate you.
And then it was so awesome to see all the boys devouring the food.
Right?
That chicken was so good.
You had so many happy dads. You were out, I think, right after. Did you even see halftime?
I did see it. I thought halftime was underwhelming. And that's coming from a Brendan that's 3-4 happy dads in.
Dude, everybody was complaining about Kendrick's performance. Oh my God, whose videos did you show me today? What's his name?
Churdley.
His videos of crying, acting like a Drake fan were probably I think he won, in my opinion. Look those up, Jopins. If you haven't seen his videos, you'll laugh your fucking ass off.
Yeah, Churdley's has been funny since day one.
Yeah, dude, but he killed it. But, every time at the half show, we always want this big, crazy like entertaining, like a whole bunch of shit going on, which I get, right? But is that Kendrick?
That's not.
Not Kendrick. And they were making this such a big deal way before. They kind of always make it a big deal who's performing, right? But there was so much going on with Kendrick and everything. I guess I'm just biased. I thought he killed it. And again, I didn't watch the football game, and because I was barbecuing and doing everything else, they got blown out. That's not very fun.
Yeah.
But I thought he killed it. What'd you think?
I thought the coolest aspect to me, Jovins, was the American flag with all the choreography and the performers.
Mm-hmm.
But Kendrick Lamar himself, he's a fantastic, maybe the best rapper out right now, aside from Eminem. But like his performance to me, he's a great rapper, but he doesn't do the rest. He doesn't have the full package, dude. You need someone like a Bruno Mars there. Bruno Mars' Super Bowl performance, I'll still remember as being really good. And I was like, damn, man. Not only can the brother sing, but he also can perform top level. Chris Brown would have been a better choice than Kendrick Lamar, in my opinion. You need someone to dance. I would have thrown Taylor Swift out there, honestly.
I'm sorry, bro, but dude, it's culture. Kendrick Lamar's album was straight culture. He's changing things. He's a fucking lyrical genius. His whole entire story is incredible.
Suicide Boys would have done it better.
Okay, I won't argue that.
They would have had just such a good show. I bet it just.
I
almost don't even want to see Kendrick live.
That's such an unfathomable event. It's such an unrealistic event because oh my god, I'd go nuts. I'd be like, I'm watching the Super Bowl this year, baby. Woo! But yeah, I don't know. That's some fucking like, when it's just like, bro, let it go, And Kendrick's just fucking when he looked at the TV, it was like, say Drake. And he's just smiling, looking at the TV. He couldn't wait for that. Someone did him so wrong and dirty. That was vengeance. That was a vengeance performance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was pretty artistic. I don't know. Let us know in the comments, Jovins. I know it wasn't some crazy spectacle.
Yeah, lasers and stuff. I don't know. I was pretty drunk, right? I passed out, so.
The Mission Impossible trailer. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So, Jovins, I grew up, if you haven't watched Mission Impossible, you need to. Tim, Sean, check one out. Check them out. Go back, watch the first one. They're so good. They're so much fun. I think my favorite might be the 6th. It was the one from like 2000.
Is it the one with Henry Cavill in it as the bad guy?
Yeah,
that was a good one.
I liked that one. I wasn't the biggest fan. They kind of let me down in the last one, on the part 1.
Definitely.
But if they end the show and they do really good and it's one of the best Mission Impossibles, I'm gonna be so excited. Brendan wasn't feeling the vibes from the trailer. Go watch the trailer. I know it's a lot of running.
Especially after you said it. You even almost proved yourself wrong.
I know.
He almost did what like the flat earthers do when they're like, I could prove that it's right. And then it just proves the earth is round. This man here goes, well, let's go watch the other trailer to try to show the trailer that we just watched on the newest one. And I'm like, I don't know, man. He's like, well, let's watch the other trailer. I bet it's way worse. What do you know? It looks like a lot of the same motions. Running. Ving Rhames saying, we've been through a lot, brother. It's like, we got the same damn movie twice. Good.
We've been through a lot, brother.
Yeah, it's like...
Racist.
Oh, Simon Pegg's here, too. We're all one big family. It's like the Fast and Furious formula. Which is not a bad thing. I like that series. I'll watch it.
Here's the thing. What I said, I was like, let's go see how much the part 1 trailer hit as opposed to this one. And to me, I felt like this one hit way harder. Kind of looks like a little more action. That last one really.
What was the most memorable stunt that you saw in the trailer for the newest one?
I liked where the locations are. The cinematography looked good when he's inside the ship with the water, so I always get claustrophobic. That's like Avatar.
Uh-huh.
You love Avatar, but yet 45 minutes sinking ship scene. So, and then the fight scenes look a little better. They kind of looked like old school Mission Impossible fight scenes. There was like 2 or 3 fight scenes I think they showed in the trailer. That was like, okay.
Kind of reminiscent of Henry Cavill when he was fighting in the bathroom.
And I like that.
That was a good fight scene.
And I like that. And I don't know if it's me knowing that it's all coming to an end. Because here's the thing. anytime a movie saga comes to an end that is like a part of like us growing up, that might be it. Might be the member berries. That was a fucking jet just flew over. What if a nuke went off while we were podcasting? No better way to go out, brother. Unless we were having sex with a girl or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And my girl would be like, "We got to do this now."
Yeah. Pod. That'd be nuts. But yeah. So it could be the member berries effect happening to Schmitty with this Mission Impossible. But a part of me just looks like it could be the last one could have been a lob. You're spoiled tasted by the last one, which I was a little too. The last one could have been a lob to slam dunk the final.
No, you know what? It was such a lob, though, that the final's already been ruined, Jobins, because they had the greatest firework already explode in the first half. With the driving the dirt bike over the mountain that he did in real life. He did it like 6-7 times. They're not going to have a stunt cooler than that in this newest one. I can see from the trailers.
For the Mission Impossibles, the stunts are cool. And they make the story fun, right? But it's not the story. I'm sorry, it's not. That's why that last one wasn't the best. And the female part, I couldn't really get into. You know what I mean? She was kind of flat to me. I forget her name. She's gonna be in this one. We'll see. Maybe some people will die. Who knows? Let us know, Jobins. Are you excited for the final Mission Impossible? I think it looks pretty fire. I'm excited. Trailers usually do that to Schmitty, though, and then I'm fucking disappointed.
Do you think, because Jobins, we just were watching this last night, it's a really good documentary, if you haven't seen it yet, called Sly on Netflix about Sylvester Stallone. Do you think that Tom Cruise is like our generation's Sylvester Stallone, maybe, you could say, with the legacy that he's kind of created for himself?
Bro, he's your dad had what? Bruce Lee, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Tom Cruise. Your dad loved Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Your dad was all about. My mom and dad were all about Tom Cruise. My mom loved Tom Cruise. Interview with a Vampire.
Damn, that's a good one too, Joe.
You know what I mean? Like, dude. Top Gun. Like, if you were in the military, you watch Top Gun.
Born on the 4th of July.
Yep.
That's another great movie by Tom Cruise.
Risky Business.
He's honestly a really good actor for like the action movies that he does. Yeah. He might be the best actor to do those kind of roles.
One of my favorite Tom Cruise movies is the one where he played that drug mule. What was that called? Fuck Me.
Damn, with the CIA operative. Yep. And then oh my god, based on a true story too.
Damn it.
Damn, I know, dude. I can't think of the title of that movie. He's been in so many.
Why do I blank on Pod? Man, I hate it. I don't even know that shit. But yeah, that was a really good movie. You should just look it up. Yeah, he's made a lot of good movies. But outside of all the crazy shit that Tom Cruise has ever been a part of.
Yeah. But I really liked the Slide documentary last night just because it kind of lit a fire under me again. It's good to get reminded of like people that worked really hard. Sylvester Stallone
is a legend.
Passed up for all these roles, Jobin. It's like, when life gives you lemons, he's the definition of making lemonade. Like he was getting cast as like the tough guy every time. He did that movie with Henry Winkler, the Kings of Flatbush or something like that. I forget the name.
Yep.
But it's like he was like, you know what? If I can't get the role, I'm gonna make the role. And he wrote in for himself. Rocky is such a legendary movie. Like we should go back and watch the first one, homie, because he wrote all that himself to make himself star in it. And then just how he did the casting, it's so crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That was a legendary documentary to watch. And just his rivalry with Arnold Schwarzenegger and, like, that time. It's like, who's competing with Tom Cruise, man?
It was cool to see how him talk about the scenes in his movies he implemented from his real life. So those scenes were in those Rocky movies where they fucking hit is because it's what...
Dude, like his relationship with his dad, and then the first one when he's screaming in the closet and having that mental... He's a good actor too, honestly.
Bro, that documentary makes you want to cry about 17 trillion times. Mm-hmm. I had to hold it back in front of you and Brock.
Dude, and he lost his son too back in 2012. Dude. That's freaking sad.
Yeah. It made me like the Expendables a little more, even though I only watched the first one, and then after that I never watched any of the Expendables ever again. I know.
Well, you've never been into those kind of movies like
I know.
Me and Brock can watch all those stupid action movies any day of the week.
Like a couple Rambos I can do. Like when he brought back Rambo after a long time, back in like what 2007 or 6. I liked that one.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch the last Rambo.
Dude, the last Rambo was good in Mexico.
It's
crazy.
It's almost like gore, like the gore films sometimes with extreme action films. Like those intense, extreme.
That one was pretty hyper violent with like limbs blowing off and stuff like that. You mean?
It was, yeah. But if it has a good story behind it, it's fun to laugh at. Old action movies are definitely fun to laugh at.
Mm-hmm. There's some hidden gems nowadays. Jobins, a lot of the movies that flop on like Netflix or something, like Ryan Gosling's The Gray Man. With Chris Evans opposite as the bad guy, and Billy Bob Thornton as the handler, that movie slaps, dude. There's so many action sequences in that, and that movie failed critically. But if 10 years from now, watch, Jomans, people can be like, dude, The Gray Man's a good action movie. It's going to be right in that category of cheesy action flicks.
You love them.
I can't get enough of them.
You love them.
If it was up to me, there'd be so many more action movies.
Brennan saw the SpaceX satellite, which I saw a whole bunch of people posting pics. And then when it was happening, we were at, so I'm at the gym walking out. We've seen it before in Sean's backyard. But it looked like it was right there. I videotaped the whole thing with the gym phone. But it looks like this giant ass white sperm cell just floating through the fucking sky.
It does look like that.
It's super weird how it goes off. Like, and then it just disappears.
What's the stuff behind it, bro?
I know, and it
What's
glows.
the stuff behind it that the whole sky's lit up?
It's some sort of chemical reaction for sure.
It freaks me out.
Everyone wants to go, oh, it's the chemtrails, blah, 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 blah. Which you never know. But it's just super weird how this thing just glows in the night sky.
And what is it? What's its mission?
It's the satellites.
To deploy 23 Starlink satellites. And it's like, how many Starlink satellites are already there that you've already brought up before?
Yeah, he's put up so many.
It's like,
but it's cool to witness and see. It's like, holy shit.
It freaks me out, dude.
It's crazy.
I couldn't stop looking at it. I was getting out of Walmart with some like steak and stuff, and I'm like, there's an alien spacecraft. I was like convinced UFOs were real.
Well, we saw it in Sean's backyard, but I just don't know where they're shooting it out from, because one guy's like, oh yeah, that's got to be from California.
It is.
Which we're not that far from California. But bro, that looks like it was right there.
That's because of how massive.
I know, because it's like, damn, that's cool.
Because of like launching it up and everything.
Yeah, it was cool to see. If you guys haven't seen it, look it up. I'm sure there's so many videos of it.
Man.
Satellite, SpaceX shit getting launched. Bye pennies. This year is so unprecedented. It's insane what's gonna happen. Trump just got rid of pennies. No more pennies.
It's been a long time coming, because I think the cost of pennies
it's more than what it's worth. Yeah, I know. But if I was a penny, I'd be pissed. If I was a penny, I'd be pissed. Why not get rid of all of them? Maybe keep the quarter. Keep it easy.
They got to drain the swamp.
Think about the math.
That's just one part of draining the swamp.
Wouldn't everything kind of be a little better if it was just a quarter? Like, why are we just getting rid of pennies? Like, why do we, like, if we're really going to move, if everything's moving on, like, you're just rip the Band-Aid off and get rid of all.
Why have any cash? Everything could be electronic.
I know, it's almost like just to
don't even have dollar bills.
I know. I want to know why the penny got excluded, man.
Dude, I want to know a lot that's going on right now. In the coming months, we're going to see a lot of shit go down.
I know, it's exciting.
Just off of what we already have right now, dude.
If you guys haven't seen the Trump and Elon, I think everybody needs to watch that video.
Everyone should watch that.
Everyone should watch it.
Unprecedented, like you said.
Yeah, it's the craziest shit ever. You got Elon with his kids sitting next to Trump. And Trump's in it. I was telling Brendan, I was like, dude, there could be we're so lucky we have Trump sitting there. Like, there literally could be a president that's just sitting there, not even really listening to what Elon's saying, not giving a fuck, just being there. But we have Trump, someone who wants to be there. I truly think that, like, I know a lot of people personally who are upset that Trump's president and they fucking hate it. They think it's all horrible. But it's like, if we see some actual benefits come out from all this, you gotta be happy for it. If it's better for the country, we should be happy for that. Like Joe Rogan was talking about the one guy in the pod.
It's such
But those people get hung up.
There's a balance, bro, because you made such a good point when we were watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what are the consequences of Elon Musk having this kind of power moving forward?
Dude, we
don't know. We don't have a crystal ball.
They just straight up expose the government, which is insane. Like, to me, that was insane. And it's like, how does Elon... I'd be so nervous. When you're coming after, and Trump too, in which he's already been shot at, they're figuring out all this money going all these places, apparently billions, could be 100 billion.
Mm-hmm. He said it could be up to $1 trillion that they could find.
Dude.
And taxpayer money being mismanaged.
Elon is straight up the government auditor right now. He's going through everything. If they erase the national debt, which I think is going to be... Trump's done so much more in his first month of being a president than maybe anyone ever. And it's like, he's probably trying to be that GOAT president, right?
Think about all the people trying to block his actions right now. All the politicians that are saying like, hey, it's unconstitutional for Doge to investigate. Those are the fraudsters.
Oh, I know.
The people that are the hardest to defend, because it's like everyone should be for transparency. Musk said it a few times himself, like common sense.
Right.
And then it's like, well, how does Doge keep itself accountable?
Right.
Which is a good point. It's like he's just putting systems in place that like should have been there from the start.
That just makes sense.
On transparency. It's like if we would get caught too. And then Doge actually posts so much on X, and it's like, oh yeah, Elon Musk owned X, but there's community notes that are voted on. And it's like, he's even looked really stupid himself a lot. And he's let people that call him Hitler and everything like that continue to say those things on X. Sometimes I reply to those people like, hey, you would be banned if these things were true that you're saying.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I get crazy, Joe, because I go down that crazy thoughts shit. Because it's like, bro, Hitler keeps getting brought up, all this shit like that. It's like, do you really think Elon at the end of the day is trying to hurt people and kill people the way Hitler was? No. Is Donald Trump? Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. But the kind of crazy part is what freedoms were given up, the amount of control and power that could be built up in the future. Because there is it kind of seems like it, man. Because when you go through the government and you're seeing all these people who, like, how the fuck are people who are 150 years old getting this money?
From Social Security? Who's collecting it?
Somebody's collecting that. Okay, so now that person's after you. All the fucking... There's so much. There's just so much. People probably hate me, I know. But when you go after money and you have all these things going on, I just feel like someone's going to come after you. You can't do it. Because, dude, and what's scary is when they're in control like that he's being Mr. Auditor. He's going, okay, you're spending money here. You can't be spending this money. We need to save this money here. Mm-hmm. That's where it's like, okay, when we have that new world one order type shit, it comes down to all of us. Because where do we spend our money? A lot of people we have these collections. I'm guilty. You got your drugs, you got your food, you got stuff you collect. Mm-hmm. Now more than ever, go to Walmart and look at all of anything. And it could be with drinks, toys. We love our Dr. Squatch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's these brands that are so put in our face to our phones that make us want to go buy it. And then you got now these kids with video games, and then the TikTokers, and I see lots of people buying opening figurine boxes. Mm-hmm. I like to do my UFC cards. Right? And I'm guilty of this, and I know I'm a hypocrite, guys. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, if everyone's doing that, and then we're at the same time saying we can't afford shit, that's exactly what the government's done.
Well, just to kind of go on to your point, though, dude, if we would lose, I just don't want us to lose the bigger picture of humanity, dude. Because what's his main thing? It's efficiency. And that's what you're talking about, efficiency, not this wasteful energy on things that aren't productive towards the country's benefit. But it's not all the time is what's humane is efficient.
Yeah, we'll be okay. So
Funding food shelters, other things that are philanthropic endeavors.
Everything you just said about how or if you guys go watch the video, everything Elon says about how the money's being spent and how stupid it is,
right?
Right? We agree, right? So if that's the same way with the everyday Americans, is it gonna be the end of the world if you go to try and buy a pop figure?
Right.
Brennan collects pop figures, right? And I collect UFC cards. So is it the end of the world that if me and you go to Walmart and we try to buy a pop figure or UFC cards and it goes, no, you can't this week because of so, because analytically it knows, hey, you realistically cannot afford that right now.
Yeah, I don't want the idea, like you're saying, of wasteful spending concept to overpower, be extreme, and limit us from our freedoms to spend on what we want to spend on. I've earned that cash.
I know.
It's not taxpayer money. That's the difference.
But we want so much of everything. Like the human is never truly. There is some people, not everybody, right? There is people that can have little, but it's like how long are those people going to last? Where every generation it changes. You know what I mean? Because now more than ever, materialistic items are making the most money. You know what I mean? And then gambling. More people put money into gambling than stocks or some shit like that last year. There was something crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, if something goes, hey, yeah, no, you can't put that money into stocks right now. That's the kind of shit I get a little nervous about.
Dude,
because
100%.
You got to think about it. If we're all doing that, right, it's got to fuck something up. If we were all tighter and smarter with our money, where the money was being spent, don't you think that would probably help the overall?
Well, my question is, okay, you stop people from spending money on wasteful things like pop figures or other collectibles or other just things that don't make sense.
Scary. They'll go, no, you hit your meat limit.
Do you have to tell them what to buy?
Are
you forcing them to say, hey, you need to put your money towards this because this is going to help the common good? That's scary.
Black Mirror shit, you just never know, Joe. Now, I know this, will this ever fucking happen? Who knows? Maybe. But it gets icy when we had, because, dude, how is this not an alien? How is Elon Musk not a fucking alien? Because I'm telling Brendan, I'm like, the way that he's talking to me makes it so understandable. And he's like a fucking human analytical robot. And he's and then the one, I loved how you showed me the video of, what's his name?
Anderson Cooper.
Just getting
flustered.
Yeah, because it's like, they're going to come back it up. Elon's probably going to do whatever it takes to get it done. They're going to be under the light, the microscope. And that's the thing too. It's like, do we really need all these things to happen to where it's going to take so much time to get done? Or does it really take just a judge signing a piece of paper and Trump and Elon will get it done? There's so much.
Why hasn't this been done before? Dude?
Right?
And he was talking about a contractor that was given a 3-month contract getting paid for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
He was in office in that time frame, though. Why didn't that change then as well? See, there's things in his second term that he's addressing that it doesn't make sense why he didn't address them in the first term.
Well, they were talking about how, like, his first term, it's like, you learn a lot from your first term.
True.
And they were saying that had Donald Trump was reelected again and hadn't lost, he wouldn't have been able to get these things done that are happening now. You just never know, dude.
Interesting. So maybe we needed the Biden administration and all that, and to see all these things that are really getting people upset to actually make these moves. That's interesting. Timing is everything. Every
day right now for the next year, for his first year in office, there's going to be so many things done. We woke up, the penny's gone. That's crazy. Was it something that should have been done? Absolutely. We've been talking about that since we were kids. Mm-hmm. And you know what? We could be rich. I collected coins as a kid. My grandpa collected pennies. I got fucking pennies from probably almost they got to be 100 years old by now. Easy.
True.
So if them motherfuckers are gone and I got to get that app where you can scan a coin and it tells you how much it's worth, dog, we might be done. We might not have to work 9 to 5 anymore. Should we back a coin with a penny collector? Do I become the penny collector? And we back a coin on this and call it and use back a copper coin? called copper coin?
No.
Copper's valuable. Huh?
I don't think it's a good idea.
What about a... I know, but I'm not trying to pump and dump. I'll collect pennies. We'll make the
No
shit.
one has the faith, unless it's like Bitcoin or Ethereum.
I'm just trying to think outside the box. And then they were talking about how they might back a coin off of gold. Isn't that better than Bitcoin? Would that be better than Bitcoin?
Dude,
I don't know.
Bro, what you're talking about is the future. No, it's the future. It's like the federal government's going to have to step in on this too. Trump's already got a Trump coin and all that too, meme coins that he's released. You don't think the federal government's also going to do that under his administration?
Right.
And then it's like, well, now we're relying on everything being digital and internet. That scares me too.
What else is pointless right now? So pennies are pointless. What else is something? Got anything that we just don't even use anymore?
That we don't use anymore?
Yeah.
Dude, the federal government needs to be retooled. You remember Musk was talking about how they have a literal mind where they have to go down, and that determines how many federal employees can retire in a month because of how inefficient the system is of collecting the retirement paperwork. It's like, why isn't that stored digitally too? It's because they're hiding shit, bro. Well, that's all comes down to transparency. It's like they have an old system, so it's harder to find.
That pod with that guy with Joe Rogan from yesterday or 2 days ago, he's all into gold and mining gold and all this kind of stuff, and he talks about how he found this big chunk of gold. But because of China's AI technology and geographical technology that they have, it's able to find shit. And apparently China had just found that whole bunch of fucking whole cave of gold worth so much money. Like, that's the kind of technology that's going to change the world. Why don't we have that? There's got to be somewhere in America where it's like we could go somewhere. Because they were trying to do that with the Amazon. They got the technology to go above the Amazon and they're finding buildings and structures. So it's like, of course that's going to be used to find the fucking shit that's valuable.
That is the one thing.
It's interesting.
That's the country that scares me the most, honestly, with like supremacy, is China. Because Joe, I had this whole news story. You think that's world breaking, world shattering? This is cosmic shattering, bro. There's these things called neutrinos. They're cosmic particles. It's like a cosmic GPS system because they're like unobservable, bro. They have telescopes. In the South China Sea, Jobins, they have a telescope that they've deployed underwater that has these neutrino detectors. I'm talking like $1 billion investment. I don't know how much money the CCP, the Chinese government, has put into these detectors, but they're trying to understand the literal creation of the universe, hidden mysteries, and with these neutrinos that they can observe, these are real particles that exist that come from, like, they will tell us about black holes. They're going to be... If you're investing that much money into that, bro, there's some legitimacy behind it.
Well, what scares me is that Simpson prediction where everyone gets sucked into something happens and we all suck in the universe and at the end God's even sucked in. That shit scares me. We just one day just keep doing it and just go.
Their development on AI too, like you're talking about.
Or they dig a hole.
That's connected. It's all connected.
Aren't they trying to dig a hole to the center of the earth too?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think I saw something about that too. It is going to be such a crazy year, and what's nuts is we're doing this today, Wednesday, Sunday. By Sunday, we'll have some more shit to talk about. There's going to be more.
Dude, there's another story. Freaking former chief medical advisor to the president of the United States, Biden, who was federally pardoned, Dr. Anthony Fauci. Dude, that guy is like the equivalent. We want to bring up Hitler and stuff like that. You're talking like a German Nazi scientist. The level of shit this guy's done, man. Look up Dr. Fauci Beagles. You know the dogs? Dude, so many dogs have died. And then the whole point is like, oh, well, was it federally funded or was it funded this way through taxpayer dollars? There's going to be more information that's going to come out about that.
So what was going on?
But
they were just doing tests on those dogs?
Yeah, dude.
Why?
Why? I mean, there's a lot of gain of function or like spreadability of diseases that he was doing for biological warfare type stuff. And then you got the testing and then like the COVID lab leaks that are now official that you'd be called crazy and a conspiracy theorist if you talked about it before.
I get so upset that I got vaccinated, dude. I knew that shit. I didn't get vaccinated for so fucking long.
Dude.
It sucks.
He's Dr. Fauci, man. There's so much stuff about this guy that's crazy. That's like, I'm interested to see what comes out when the states come after him. Because he's federally protected, but like each state is probably going to want to get a hit.
Do you think we see Donald Trump have a third term?
No.
Nope.
No. But you know what's interesting? I was reading another article. He doesn't even look at J.D. Vance as his successor. It'd be interesting if he tries to get J.D. Vance to be vice president again for his son.
I don't know, man. I got a feeling that Trump's going to try and become a third term. Why not?
It's scary because it's like, I feel like this was necessary to destroy the old establishment that was corrupt, but is it almost better to have the current corrupt status quo as compared to what he could create in that place? Because you do make me think that sometimes, because sometimes I'm a little too gung-ho on government reform, to where it's like, yeah, government reform's good. Getting rid of corruption's great, but what if it comes at the cost of a greater corruption, of a greater enemy that we don't even see yet? That scares me.
Talk about not, being crazy again, is just please go watch the video, Jobins. Elon Musk, first off, is standing there at the Oval Office with Donald Trump. That's just historic there. Every time we see that, it's crazy. And then not only that, but how Elon Musk acts while he's in the Oval Office is almost as if it's me at my first UFC event. You know what I mean? I'm running around. I'm embarrassing Sean, asking for photos and autographs from everyone. And then he also has his kid, right? And he's got his kid on shows. It doesn't scream more I'm an alien than that.
His kid's name's like XA.
Yeah, here's X. He's a brilliant, and the kid's just, and I'm like, this is an alien. Like if you don't see that this is an alien, am I crazy? Dude.
I mean, there's a spectrum, I guess.
Dude.
There's people on it.
And then he just spits out all this fucking crazy analytic information. He knows all about it. He's not missing a beat. It is so crazy. He's technically our president. Would you guys vote for Elon Musk to be president? Can he run for presidency?
He can't run for presidency because he's from South Africa.
Why do I always forget that, dude? It's because he's fucking wider.
He doesn't need to be president, though. Look what he just did.
I know.
He made an address to the people in the Oval Office, and he's not even president.
Is that it? It's something bigger than
he
being
just
a president?
released 23 satellites into the sky.
The same day of being in the Oval, or was that this morning that he was in the Oval Office, or was that yesterday?
I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, so the same, yeah.
Bro, that's just one little thing he's playing with. He's doing all this shit. It's just China.
It's a good time.
That's like the main competitor.
It's a good time to be alive. It's a crazy time to be alive. It's insane. What a day.
I think that's everything I had about the freaking, government and all that shit going on right now.
Well, Jones, if you listen to us blabble about the government, we appreciate you. I know where there's so many smarter people. That's why I'm trying to learn and get better and everything. And we got our opinions. You know what I mean? I know I'm being crazy and I'm saying some crazy shit. But I do believe that it is if it's for America and it's for the world, that's because what it should be about. And even what Elon said about democracy, like that should be the number one. At the end of the day, you take an oath when you're in office, and it should be for the benefit of everybody.
Correct.
And there's too many people. If Mr. Elon's gonna be the fucking auditor of our government, and he's got Trump with him, so it's not just this smart dude, nerdy, smart rocket man. He's got badass gangster Trump, and they're showing up with their cigars and their guns, and they're saying change is happening now. So if it's for the better of the world and us, so be it. But am I nervous as hell for what? I couldn't beat Elon Musk. And I know he's probably spending so much money on security and everything, but that's every second. You know what I mean?
Dude.
Every second. You think you want to be famous and everything, but then look at him. He's going out there and doing it. So when you're doing that and changing things, and I'm seeing it, and I'm like, oh my God, we're about to watch these numbers flip. And they're getting it done quick.
Yeah.
Like, bro, we gotta. It's good. It seems like it's about to be really good. It almost seems too good. And another reason why I'm like, and I've been talking about it. I'm like, we're always freaking out about. History's always been like, oh my God, one person's been assassinated. Right. We'd be freaking the fuck out if all of a sudden in one day, within the span of minutes, Elon and Trump are gone.
It would be complete.
It would fucking shake this shit up, dude. And it would be, I I don't know what would happen.
You know that's how World War I started, bro.
I don't know.
One guy was killed.
Oh my god.
And then what happened? Every country had been affected by those agreements and alliances.
When we have Trump coming out saying, yeah, I got a plan, it's all that war, if total annihilation, if fucking he gets killed by Iran or whoever. So, we are in some unprecedented times. We woke up to the no penny. So, I'm finna go back home and look at my penny collection and see what we got.
Dude, hopefully they get rid of all coins and all your coin collections can be valuable.
You're right. Shouldn't happen.
Take them all away.
Like what? And then you gotta change it. Now all vending machines are gotta be touch. You know what I mean? Which we can do. Change the vending. Should we get into that? Should we be making a vending machine that's like that?
Yeah.
Replace them.
Definitely.
No more of this credit card button cash shit.
When are they gonna get rid of cards? When's it all gonna be on the phone?
When everyone's got the chip. When everyone's got the chip.
Transhumanism.
Yep.
When everyone's AI.
When everyone's got the chip in their head, they can just look at shit and they can talk because that's gonna happen. There it is.
I'm just
but
interested.
We're in that process,
bro. How we grew up and everything.
Facts.
20 years from now, we're gonna see different products. Because Jovins, I use shaving cream. And my girl, she was the one that actually brought it up to me first.
This is not a paid sponsorship.
There's hormones. There's hormones. Like, they affect your hormones. Phthalates. And they're in, like, all these cream products, like the shaving creams that you use. But it turns out the one that I had before, I was going to go all hype about Dr. Squatch Jovins. But even my normal shaving cream is phthalate free. And you're like, what's it mean if it's phthalate free? It means it doesn't have, like, those same effects on your hormones. Because apparently, like, long-term studies and things like that show that it can really affect your, your hormone levels affect a lot with, like, testosterone and, like, just your masculinity and shit.
Yeah, girls. So, if you're listening and your man's using Dove deodorant, he might be gay.
Yeah, it might make him gay.
Because you know what?
Allegedly.
I'm not going to lie. When I use Dr. Squatch, guys, I feel more like a man. It makes me feel like a man. I don't know what it does. We need to get sponsored.
Think about this, too. Having a beard probably makes you less likely to be gay because you won't be using the shaving cream, which has phthalates in it.
Bro, once they have toothpaste, it's done. It's like there's nothing else I use. And mouthwash. There we go. I need Dr. Squatch mouthwash and Dr. Squatch toothpaste, and we're good to go.
Well, there's already good things in that field. You don't need to...
No, I want it. We need it. And
I am excited. I'm going to use this after the podcast, but I'm like, it's phthalate free. I can check. Although, hey, look for the normal brands too. This is cheaper and it's just as phthalate free. So I didn't know that.
Maybe we should just make a Dr. Squatch video, make a funny one, and just send it to him. Like, are we the guys? We might not be no what's her name? Sydney Sweeney. Damn it.
Dude, you know what you need to do too, Jovins, if you're collectors? Buy the stuff that has phthalates in it. Buy the Red 40. Buy Skittles.
Oh, people are doing
all that stuff. Because if RFK does make real changes, which is good for the youth, we got some collector items right there.
True. Well, that's the episode, Jobins. Brendan, I'm glad you were off today to be able to watch or be here with me, my man.
Dude, it was nice to be off.
We got good fights this weekend. I hope it's a big middle. It is a good card. We didn't talk about it, Jobins, but it's a big middleweight fight for a setup of after DDP and Hamzat, whatever happens with there. It's nice to know that there's going to be contenders. I hope Cannonier wins. He's never had a 3-fight losing streak. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. The guy he's fighting has got 5 good knockouts. It's a tough fight, good fight. Pretty historic fight too with a couple other people. They had some good records and shit. But yeah, Jobins. Stay safe. See you Sunday.
Love you, Jobins.
Love you.